If I was to start my coding career all over again, would I go to university? Let's find out. So to answer the question straight off the bat, it would be no. I wouldn't go to university if I had the choice over again. I think I could be the exact same developer that I am right now without actually having to go to uni. I think I would be able to learn everything that I know now, all online, all for free, and probably wouldn't have to pay a cent. The number one reason why I think you don't have to go to university to become a developer is you learn by building. The majority of my skills and the languages and the techniques and design patterns, etc., all of those have come from learning by building. So not reading textbooks, watching all the videos on YouTube, doing tutorials, etc. All of that knowledge has actually come by actually building something. So when you're actually building something and you come across a problem or you don't know how to actually solve something, you solve it. You do research, you try and figure out the problem. That's where you actually start to actually build as a developer and start actually building your skills. So here's an example. I was one time trying to build a chat application and I had absolutely no idea how to do real-time communication. That got me into researching about things such as like WebSockets and then libraries such as socket.io and then SignalR, having a play around with that. And now I know if I ever need to do any sort of real-time communication where the server needs to talk to a client, I can use one of those two libraries, and now I actually have that knowledge because I wanted to actually build something and I hit that setback to say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's actually try and research it and figure it out ourselves. So if you're trying to grow as a developer, you're going to be trying to build things, or all the new things you build are going to be probably more and more complex than the last. You're going to be starting projects not knowing where to even begin. That was the fun part, is you don't know exactly where to start, or you're facing this problem and you just don't know how to fix it. And that's what you should always be aiming to do. So whenever you're starting to build something, you don't want to just be building something that you've already built or really not challenging yourself, because you're just going to be cruising by and you're not really going to be growing. You're not really going to be learning. So the second reason why I think you don't need a degree to become a developer today is just the sheer amount of online content available, all for free as well. There's so many great people on YouTube nowadays where they're just posting really, really high quality free content. Whenever I had an issue in uni where I didn't know how to do something or I was stuck on an assignment, I would actually go to YouTube to get information about how to implement a linked list, how to do a binary search, etc. When I was first learning that stuff, my professors just weren't explaining it properly, well, at least in a way that I could understand it. And then you could go to YouTube and you could find 50, hundreds of videos all explaining it a little bit of a different way, and you'd find something that finally clicked. So one of the things that I think deter new programmers or people who are wanting to become programmers from actually starting is just not knowing where to start. That's one good thing about university, is it actually gives you a pathway in terms of this is where you start and this is where you're going to end up, and we're going to teach you things along the way. I don't think that should deter new programmers anymore, because people have actually built roadmaps. So if you want to become a web developer, there's a roadmap for you to start off with where it tells you, okay, learn these basic programming principles, then learn HTML, learn CSS, then learn React or Vue, and etc. It has this roadmap for you to follow so you can end up where you actually want to be. So now you know why I think you don't need a degree to become a developer today. Let me actually show you some resources that you guys might find really, really valuable if you're just starting out to be a programmer. So if you're looking for roadmaps or just somewhere to start, I would definitely recommend checking out this video by Forrest Knight. He goes into really in-depth detail about where you can start, gives you links to all these courses and cool videos, and essentially lays out a computer science degree for you to actually do all those courses all online yourself. If you want to learn back-end programming, I highly, highly recommend checking out a YouTuber called I Am Tim Corey. That's where I've learned a hell of a lot of my C# knowledge, was just watching his videos. He's been such a great resource, especially for me. Now, anything front-end related, my go-to front-end YouTubers are Traversy Media and then also Academia Mind. So again, these two YouTubers cover off any new framework that comes out. I don't know how they do it. Something will come out, a week later, they've got a full breakdown on how you can use this framework, what it's good for, and walk you through actually building an application. So all these resources that I mentioned are going to be in the description below. So be sure to check those out if you guys are interested, and there might be a few more in there that I haven't talked about either. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some advantages to having a degree and actually going to university. Just keep in mind that some employers do actually require you to have some sort of computer science, software engineering, or IT related degree. Another benefit of having a degree is that it actually gives you a piece of paper to say, I'm qualified, I know what I'm doing. Now keep in mind, there are workarounds to what I've just said about having a degree. So for example, about having that piece of paper to show that you've been formally trained and you know what you're doing. That can easily be worked around by having really, really great projects in your portfolio. Another workaround to not having a degree is having experience. So that might be a hard thing to get when you're starting off as a new developer, but as soon as you get over that first hurdle, as long as you can show with your experience through your resume and through your portfolio and your projects, no one's gonna care if you went to a university or where you went to university. No one's gonna care. So if you're a new developer or you're wanting to become a new developer, but you don't really want to go to university, don't let that discourage you. There's so much information for free online now that you can pretty much learn anything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Again, all the resources and all the links that I've talked to about will be in the description. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. See ya.